Hey, what's up by Algebros? Yeah, that's the name I will give to my subscribers and my non-subscribers as well henceforth. This is my first video in English, so excuse me if I say something wrong, but you know Spanish is my first language, math is my second language, and English is my third language. Je parle aussi français, mais je ne ferai pas de vidéo en français. So if you are one of my Spanish-speaking subscribers, don't hesitate to help me to translate this content into Spanish, please. Okay, back to the subject. We're going to know what day you were born, I mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, by using a simple formula that I will explain to you soon. So if you're interested, stay with me until the end. So here's our friend Christian Zeller. He was a German mathematician, and he is the one who is going to allow us to calculate the day of the week you were born with his famous Zeller's congruence. We're also going to implement his algorithm in Python for those of you who know how to program. Okay, so what is it? What is Zeller's congruence? It is an algorithm devised by this guy, Christian Zeller, to calculate the day of the week for any Julian or Gregorian calendar date. If you didn't know, we use Gregorian calendar dates nowadays. Julian calendar dates are no longer used, but we also have a formula if you want to calculate the day of the week of any Julian calendar date. So what is the formula? It's this huge expression here. It looks complicated, but it's not, so don't be afraid. It's simpler than it looks. I'm going to explain you in detail what are these variables here, h, q, m, k, j, what are these operations here, mod, and these weird brackets that this is called the floor function. So I'm going to explain you, so don't be afraid. So h will be a number between 0 and 6. So after you calculate this expression, you will have a number between 0 and 6. So if the result of this expression is 2, then you were born on Monday. If this expression is equal to 6, then you were born on Friday, and so on. Q is the day of the month. Q is the day of the month. So for example, I was born on April 8th, so Q will be 8 because that's the day of the month. M is the number of the month. So if I was born on April, then M will be 4. And there is a singularity here that January and February are not the first and second month of the year. They are the 13th and 14th month of the year. So we have to be careful with this month. If you were born in this month, you have to be very careful. We are going to note something later, and so be careful. K is the year of the century. So for example, if I was born in 1998, then the year of the century will be 98. We can calculate this in our computers by doing the mod operation that I am going to explain later. Year, mod operation 100, and J is the zero-based century. So again, in our example, 1998, the zero-based century will be 19. We can also calculate that with the floor function, year divided by 100, the floor function of this number. So now I'm going to explain you what is this mod and this floor function operators. But before doing that, we have to note something. That January and February are counted as month 13 and 14th of the previous year. So for example, if you were born on February 2, 2010, that is actually the second day of the 14th month of 2009. So be careful, as I told you, with this month. So now I'm going to explain you what are these mod and floor function operators. So mod x is the remainder when divided by x. For example, if you have 50 mod 7, that will be 1. Why? Because 50 is 7 times 7, that is 49, plus 1. So 1 is a remainder. And this floor function operator is the greatest integer less than or equal to x. So for example, if I apply the floor function operator to 3.14, that will be 3. And if I apply this function to a whole number like 14, that will be the same number, 14. So let's see an example. As I told you, I was born on this date, April 8, 1998. So Q is the day of the month, that will be 8. M is the number of the month, that is 4. K is the year of the century, so 98. And J is the zero-based century, that is 19. So K will be like the two last digits of the year you were born, and J will be like the two first digits of that number. So if I plug those numbers in my formula, I get this expression, and obviously I'm going to simplify some things. So I end up with 8 plus floor function of 13 plus 98 plus floor function of 24.5 plus floor function of 4.75 minus 38. So if I calculate this, that will be 8 plus 13 plus 98 plus 24 plus 4 minus 38, and that is 109. So I have to calculate the remainder of this number when I divide it by 7. So we note that 109 is 15 times 7 plus 4. So this is the remainder when I divide 109 by 7. The remainder is 4. Thus, I was born on Wednesday. Without a doubt, I was born on Wednesday. So this is all about the algorithm. Now we're going to implement this in Python. So here we have a new script in Spider. So before doing any code, I want to tell you that all my codes can be found in my GitHub repo. And the link to my GitHub repo is found in the description below. So the first thing we're going to do is from math import the floor function. We're going to use the floor function many times. We're going to define a function called teller, and it will receive as the parameters d, the day, m, the month, and y, the year. So we're going to say, okay, q will be equal to d, just to follow the notation. We're going to also establish a dictionary. Dict will be 0 for Saturday, 1 for Sunday, 2 for Monday, 3 for Tuesday, 4 for Wednesday, 5 for Thursday, and 6 for Friday. So as simple as that. We're going to use this dictionary later. What else? Well, we're going to say age. Well, first we have to say what is K. Remember that I told you that K can be found as year, mod. So mod operation can be used with the percent sign. Y mod 100. And J can be found with the floor function of year divided by 100. Okay, now age will be Q plus floor function of what? Of 13 multiplied by m plus 1. All of this divided by 5. Okay, so the other term is K. The other term is floor function of K divided by 4 plus floor function of J divided by 4 minus 2 times j. And all of these, we have to apply the mod operator. So all of this expression, mod 7. Now we have a result here. So instead of using a lot of if, else if clauses, we're going to iterate through this dictionary. So for key and val in dict.items, so we're going to iterate through the key and through the values, through the keys and through the values of this dictionary, and we're going to say if key is equal to h, then we're going to print val, the value stored with this key. So that's all. I'm going to call setter function, for example, 8/4/1998. So I was born on a Wednesday. Let's see another date, for example, 7/5/1996. That will be Tuesday. So if you were born on this date, then you were born on Tuesday. So that's everything, friends. I hope you liked, and see you in the next video.